Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to laser engrave on a mirror tile. Now, whatever mirror tile you decide to use doesn't really matter as long as you know the size is what you want and everything. But the mirror tile that I'm using today is a 12 by 12 mirror tile from Lowe's, which basically for a pack I believe costs about $12 or so. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm assuming that since you're watching this video, you know your way around a laser and pretty much you have the software and a laser in your possession. So the laser that I'm using today is the Makeblock XTOOL D1, and let's get started. So first thing I did before I actually started this video was I went online and I picked an image that I wanted to use, and pretty much I decided to go with something that has a lot of detail and it's a decoration that I would actually like. So I decided to go with this line here. Now next thing you're going to do is go into your browser and go to www.imager.com. That is imag-r.com. Now what you want to do on Imager is basically upload your photo, and Imager will help you prep it to laser engrave. So you come down here, once you get there, hit the upload button. And I've already got this set to go to the folder where I have my picture, so you might have to locate yours on your computer. So there's my pic, I select it, and I hit open. Now Imager it uploads your photos in maybe 10 or 20 seconds, so you might have to give it a little bit of time before you actually see your photo pop up. Okay, the page has refreshed itself, and if you scroll down you'll see my image here. Now here's the thing about that: the image I uploaded was colored, but once it got up here, Imager changed that to black and white. It would do that because, well, basically that is, you prepping an image to get engraved. Images have to be in black and white. So now that I have this up here, the first step is done. Next, depending on the size of your tile, it's best for you to resize the image. Now, since I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to change from pixels to inches because, well, I'm using a 12 by 12 tile, so I want to just keep the metrics the same so I don't kind of confuse myself and mess things up. Now, saying my image here is 11.54 in width and 7.30 in height. I'm using a 12 by 12 tile, so that is fine. As far as the width and height, I can live with that. I just got to make sure I center it once I get it out there. But what I do want to do is kind of reduce this width a little bit. Make sure this box is checked right here, fixed aspect ratio, because that protects you whenever you change the size of your image. You don't have an odd looking image, the proportions remain. So I want to change this to 10 inches wide instead of 11.54. As you can see, it changed the height to match the width, which is fine by me. Hit OK and let Imager do its thing. Imager takes a little time sometimes, so just kind of give it time and let it work. Okay, now that that is done, the screen has refreshed again, and if you scroll down, you will see your before and after image just for the resize basically. And now you have this option that has popped up on the side. Now here you can make any kind of changes that you want to, which is fine. If you want to sharpen it and do all that, I usually don't mess with it. If I am going to mess with it, the only thing I might mess with is the contrast. Maybe bump it up just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And it'll give you a visual as far as you going. You would see your changes in, not exactly real time. Give it a little bit to actually apply your changes, and from there, whatever pops up as far as that goes. But just know that whenever you're working with imagers, certain things, depending on how many people are actually on the server, might take a little bit more time. Imagers running a little, extra slow today. It usually does not take this long. I don't know what's going on. Probably just a lot of people on the site. Okay. All right. Seems like changes have been added, and as you can see, my lion image got a little bit darker from the previous. So basically, it just kind of makes the image pop just a little bit. Now, the last thing that I do here is I come down here to material. I click material, and this option pops up. Basically, what I do here is I select Norton. And since I am engraving on glass, I just go ahead and select Norton glass. Now, some people might come in here and use different settings. It just depends on what you actually want to do. And I hit OK. Once again, give Imager a little bit of time. Let it work at magic. All right, seems like that is done. Let us take a look. Now, as you can see, this has actually mirrored the image for me. So you don't have to mirror anything. You don't have to mirror anything because it's already done it for you. And as you can see, this is your final product right here. So I'm just going to hit download. And since I'm using Lightburn, I'm going to download the BMP. Now, depending on the program that you're using, if you're using the Lightbox software itself, then you can download PNG or JPEG, but I'm just going to take the BMP. Now with Imager, of course, it's a free website, but ads do come up when it's time for you to download images. So what I just do is, if it doesn't interest me, I just click out of it. And if that doesn't work, well, it looks like it works. Okay. And as you can see down here, the image itself has already downloaded. So now what I want to do is I want to move this file. Just go show in folder. Cut. Then I just go and drop it into the same folder. Basically, you can drop it into whatever folder you want to, but for me, that is it. Okay, so you are done with Imager. Now you come into Lightburn or whatever software it is that you are using for your engraving. So now you want to get that image in here. And what I do is there's two ways you can do this. You can literally just make Imager smaller, open your folder and just drag and drop, boom, you're good to go. No extra steps. Or you can go to File, Open, navigate to the folder, open, navigate to the folder, and boom, pull out whatever image you want from there. But this image is here already. Right now it is good to go. I just always like to center my image. Now once you're in here, this is actually sized to do what you want it to do. For me, for mirror tiles, what I see that works for me is as far as like the power settings. Double click on that layer here. The power settings for the speed, I like to go a little bit faster. So I set the speed to 50 millimeters per second. Turn off the air assist because I'm not even using air assist, right? And then I come down here as far as power. I do a 60 for the power. Now, if you set the power too high, what it's going to do is it's actually just going to frost the glass also. Uh, it depends on the look that you're going for. But as far as the look that I'm going for, I want it semi clear, maybe a teeny bit frosted, so it doesn't absolutely show through everything. And I've got these two settings here that actually work for me. And then you come down here, you enable pass through mode. Once you hit OK, boom, that image right there is good to go. You don't have to do anything else to this. Make sure you save your work. Save your work. That is something that always screws people over. They don't save their work. Computers are not that dependable most of the time. And sometimes they are. Just depends. But yeah, save your work just in case something happens. I'm on a laptop, so battery can die at any time and I could lose power. Save it in whatever folder you want to save it. And just title this Lightburn and save it. Okay, so now it is saved. Just looking at my image, the size has already been done for me. You can verify your size up here. So I've got my 10 inches and 6.333 in height, and now that this is ready, we are ready for the laser portion. All right, guys, as you can see, that is my mirror tile right there. And if we flip to the back, this is what the laser is actually burning off to actually create the image that projects onto the front. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up in the laser. And like I said earlier, my laser is the XTOOL D1. I'm gonna set it up in here and we're gonna go ahead and get this burnt. Okay, so I'm actually satisfied with that framing. I've got my goggles on, safety first, protect your eyes. All my settings look right from here. I am good to go. And it is now actually time to fire this up. I'm not doing multiple passes, I'm just doing one pass and this should be fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this started right now. So just go ahead and hit start. Cup might be out of bounds, continue anyways. It tells me this all the time and I've already framed it so I know it's gonna be inbound. So I just hit okay to continue. And the laser has already started firing. It's gonna go ahead and do its thing. I'm gonna step out for a good minute, let it just, do its thing, and then I'll come back and check on it when it's actually done. All right, so it looks like the artwork is finally done. Got a nice image there. You could barely see it, because, well, I guess the lighting in there. But let's go ahead and take this out. Careful. All right, we're still looking at the back here. You can see it. Gonna put it through a little bit of a cleanup and then you get the final best image pretty much. But if you look to the front, if you look at the front, you can see it, but you can barely see it unless you place it in the light. So if you place it against the light, boom, image pops up. So I'm gonna take it to the bathroom and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. All right, how I like to clean up my images is I take an old toothbrush. This is my son's old toothbrush. I take an old toothbrush, I put my artwork under running water. If there's some material that I can run under water, and I just make the water a bit warm. And I take the brush and I scrub. Don't worry about damaging it, you won't damage it. I kind of scrub, you can see it getting cleaner as we go. It's cleaner. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean up the whole thing. And then I'll be able to show you the final product once I get it all cleaned up. All right, and this is the finished product here. As you can see, when you turn off the light, the image gets a little dim and it functions more as a mirror. But when you turn on the light, this is what you get. You get something like this. Looks pretty good, actually. And the laser was able to get all the fine details. Well, that wraps it up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Like, comment, subscribe. If I get up to 15 likes on this video, what I will do is I will make another video of me putting together a backlit shadow box for this lion portrait here. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.